Here's another work by Anguissola. This is a self-portrait at easel. And I enjoy this painting because it shows us the artist at work. We see young Anguissola, and she is dressed in a very simple but also very expensive jacket and a very delicate laced collar. And she stands in front of her easel in which she's painting. And there is no doubt that she is the artist. Look at how she's looking out at the viewer. She's making eye contact with us directly, pulling us into the scene, and then using her gesture, she is indicating that she is at work. She is the artist. This self-portrait is a statement of her talent. She's saying, "You impressed by this painting? I made it. I literally am a painter, and you're seeing me in the act of making another painting." This statement is not just to be confident. It is a statement of her capacity as an artist, because as a woman, she would easily discounted or ignored or said, she doesn't have enough good skill. She's saying, you like the skill work here? Look at how delicate I am at making hair and the braids, and how good I am at conveying the texture of a lace ruffle and this jacket that I wear. And I am a fine, young, elegant woman. And I am also a painter. I am no less feminine. It's not just men who can be painters. Here's another self-portrait. And this is your next artwork. Now the framework here shows you that it is painted and then it would have been looped onto a chain and worn on a necklace. So think of it as a painted emblem that would have been roped or dangling from a golden rope. This type of painting is called a miniature painting. It's a mini painting, and they would often be portraits of loved ones, friends, or family. And you notice that in our assessment of Sofonisba Anguissola's work, we're seeing a lot of portraits. We don't see images of battles or moments in history or ancient myths. Instead, because of her gender, she is limited to what is proper for a woman. And proper for a woman is to stay at home and take care of the family. And so these portraits are of her family members. They are these more intimate moments between relatives or herself, because it's the only appropriate subject matter for a female artist. I know. So, miniaturists. Often women would become miniaturist painters, and we see here a self-portrait in miniature. But she's really showing off in this as well. So we have Anguissola, and she has her hair up like a proper lady. She has this, very simple but very elaborate tuft jacket and expensive white lace collar. So she's showing herself to be elegant and refined. She has the money and the wealth not only to wear these clothes, but not have to do the physical labor outside in the fields. Instead, she is that proper lady who is inside painting. And then she's holding this massive medallion. Let's see if we can get a zoom in. Here we go. This medallion is a way for her to show off. On the border, it reads in Latin, "The maiden Sofonisba Anguissola depicted by her own hand from a mirror in Cremona." Now, Cremona is where she lived in Italy before she moved to Spain. And let's look at that statement again. "The maiden Sofonisba Anguissola depicted by her own hand from a mirror." So she's saying, are you impressed? Because I did this. Me. By my own hand. Also, it's written in Latin. Now, she's Italian. She would speak Italian, which is based or has roots in the Latin language. But during the Renaissance, you would understand that Latin as a language is no longer widely spoken. Instead, it is a language of the past, and only the highly educated can read and write and speak in Latin. So what is she saying about herself? Yeah, she's saying, I can read and write and speak in Latin. I am highly educated. So not only should you be impressed by my painting skills, but also my brain, I can read and write and speak Latin. Now the interior of the medallion is a puzzle of letters. If we were to try to decipher each of these letters, what we would find is an M and an E and another E. This puzzle is her three sisters' names: Minerva, Europa, and Elena. So when we look at this, we're supposed to decipher this jumble of lines, which reveals her three younger sisters, her beloved family. Notice also their names: Sophonisba, Minerva, Europa, Elena. They're four names if you count Sophonisba. They're all looking back to the ancient world. Her dad is a humanist. Sophonisba was a Carthaginian princess. The Carthaginians fought against the Romans. Her sister Minerva. Minerva is the Roman version of the goddess Athena. Europa, well, the continent of Europe is named after Europa, the young woman Europa. And then Elena is the Latinized version of Helen, which is the term used by the ancient Greeks to identify themselves. I know, it's all over the place. It's a lot, okay? But what we see is a Carthaginian princess, Sophonisba. We see a goddess of wisdom, Minerva. We see the figure who defines the country of Europe, Europa. And we see Helen, who is, well, the Greeks. Also Helen of Troy. Yeah, that one too. So when we appreciate this image, we're supposed to be appreciating her talent as an artist, a painter. This is super tiny. It's only 3 inches tall and 2.5 inches wide. It's very small. And so we're supposed to appreciate the fine skill and how she was able to even paint this very clear lettering. And then it's in Latin, and then she gives us a word puzzle. Oh, Anguissola, you are so smart and you are so talented.